Play right away. Here you are.
Welcome to KMJC Local News, serving Kitsap, Mason, Jefferson, and Clallam counties. This is Taylor Jonatakis bringing to you a developing story that has sparked intense discussion online, particularly on the X platform, yet has received little to no coverage from traditional local media. The title of this story is called Crimes Against Children and the Lack of Transparency of Government Officials. So we dug into the facts, contacted local agencies involved, and are reporting on what we found, including details exclusive to our investigation. To set the stage, the story traces back to May 2026, when a Kitsap County Sheriff's Office deputy publicly noted at an event that crimes against children are one of the most significant and underreported issues facing the county. The comment launched our broader look into the scope and problem. According to the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office 2025 annual report, KCSO investigated 20 cases of internet crimes against children, 71 sex offenses against children, and 28 cases of child neglect and abuse last year. These numbers underscore a serious ongoing challenge in our communities. While we were doing our research on the larger issue, we were directed to a post on social media platform X. The allegations. In or around or on June 24th, 2026, Alex Rosen of the group Predator Poachers, also known as Fight for Kids, posted a video on the X platform. In it, Rosen alleged that his team had interacted online with Daryl Doggs, Chief Deputy Auditor for Kitsap County and a prominent member of the local Democrat Party. While posing as a 13-year-old girl, Rosen claimed Doggs sent explicit images, including one showing his face, and that when confronted in person, Doggs' wife, Leslie Doggs, a former Bremerton City Council member and current campus security staff at Renaissance High School, was present and actively trying to protect her husband. Rosen was further alleged the team observed Doggs deleting files from his phone afterward, and that the materials were turned over to the Bremerton Police Department. Additional online posts referenced Doggs' past involvement fostering 54 children and operating nonprofits tied to the foster care system, being very active in the Democrat Party organizations, and public records requests done by commentators showing 93 911 calls associated with Doggs and or their residents over the past 6 years. Doggs has publicly denied the allegations, stating the images were fabricated and that his phone was hacked. Important disclaimer, these are serious allegations drawn from third-party social media posts and have not been independently verified by KMJC. No charges have been filed as of this report, and we strongly believe in the presumption of innocence. Allegations must be proven through the proper legal processes and not through public speculation. To prove this point, we are taking the position that there are two serious possibilities here. Two serious possibilities here. If true, I'm having a little bit of a problem here, folks. Sorry about this, my little platform. If true, a county official with oversight of elections, ties to schools, and connections to foster care programs stands accused of predatory behavior. The implications for public trust and child safety would be profound. If false, an innocent man and his family could be victims of a harmful smear for clicks or political reasons. That, too, demands accountability. We are following both angles fairly and hold that either is a real possibility. The story remains under active investigations by law enforcement, and we will allow them to make their own determination. All we ask, for the sake of openness and accountability of the Bremerton Police Department, is that they report on the actions they took to come to their conclusion. We will continue to monitor the case, but unless the Doggs or their attorney wishes to make a statement, we don't feel any necessity to continue investigating this particular case specifically. Our investigation focuses on transparency. The The KMJC report, in fact, is not about specific accusations against the dog's family. It is about government transparency or lack of it. When a story like this touches public officials, schools, and child safety, we reached out to the agencies, not to interfere with any criminal probe, but to seek basic public assurances. Are proper safeguards in place? Are parents in the community being informed where appropriate? Are institutions acting with caution to protect children while investigations proceed? We did this with the hope that they would all respond with openness and that they would be acting both responsibly and proactively to ensure the responsibilities to the public. Instead, here is what we found. Local legacy media is silent. There has been no reports or stories regarding this on any of the local news sources. In any area, when we have interviewed conservatives and Republicans about the story, all they give us is the same response. If this was a Republican, the story would have been on the headlines the very next day. While not knowing what decisions were made at these news organizations, we understand why many Republicans would think that it addresses the bigger issues, not only perceived bias from our local news sources, but of concerted efforts to protect government officials and departments based on their political party affiliations. I apologize. I have to take a drink. I got Excuse me. Bremerton Police Department denies our request for information. So not only is the legacy media silent, but also the local police department is silent as well. They would only confirm that an active investigation is underway. They denied all further inquiries, even those that were not directly related to the case. We requested separate public records requests for aggregate statistics over the past 12 months on investigations under Washington's relevant statutes covering the exploitation of minors. RCW 9A.44 and 9.68A to find out how these cases were being handled by the BPD. Our request was completely denied. On appeal, BPD then stated that no such records exist. In other words, no crimes under these statutes were ever reported, much less acted upon. This contrasts sharply with the KCSO's documented caseload and raises legitimate questions for Bremerton residents about data reporting and responsiveness. We will continue pressing for answers on behalf of our audience. Renaissance High School, where Leslie Doggs worked, and the Bremerton School District is also silent. No response from the principal to our inquiry about awareness and actions. The district did provide, on request, a job description for the campus security role held by Leslie Doggs, which emphasizes student safety, monitoring, viability, visibility, and rapport building with students. Duties fall under heightened child protection standards. Viewers on our video feed can see the document page we have obtained. Parents deserve clear communication on how schools are handling such situations. We also wanted to inquire regarding the hiring practices that apply to positions with direct access to children. These positions normally require a higher level of scrutiny by the organization, including background checks and investigations into issues raised by these checks. Again, no response at all regarding their practices in general and not relating directly to the case. The Kitsap County Auditor's Office. We commend Steve Gardner of the Public Information Office with the Kitsap County Auditor for his engagement. They were the only government organization that was responsive to our inquiry, and they deserve recognition for this. They confirmed Daryl Doggs is not working in any capacity pending law enforcement resolution. They specifically stated that there were no charges or substantiation at this time. They cited standard policy to keep internal personal matters confidential during investigations. Auditor Paul Andrews declined immediate comment. Key issues for Kitsap County residents. Given Doggs' role in ballot proceedings during the election year, including a sheriff's race, the public rightly expects ironclad safeguards against any appearance of conflict. Officials have a duty to reassure citizens that election integrity remains protected. It appears that Kitsap County Auditor did properly address the issue with the public, and the public can be assured that the issue is not impacting upcoming elections. While not being as transparent as they should be, they were able to at least provide the necessary assurances that they were acting accordingly. With ties to schools and being a leader in a nonprofit organizations, including foster programs, awareness among parents, students, and involved families could surface relevant information. While respecting due process, silence from institutions can erode trust faster than careful factual disclosure. Social media has already spread this story widely. Pretending otherwise serves no one. This type of behavior only serves to bring questions like, what are you hiding? And what are you not telling us? Rather than assuring the public these actions breed mistrust and could lead to wild speculation on behalf of parents and students. We urge any parents or students at Renaissance High School with relevant information to contact law enforcement directly. If you've reached out to the school, we'd like to hear confidentially from you how it was handled. We also strongly encourage any residents of the city of Bremerton to contact their elected officials and the Bremerton Police Department specifically to demand that they investigate their processes and documentation regarding crimes against children and public access to their processes and procedures. We understand and strongly support their efforts to have a thorough and unbiased investigation into this current case, but they have an obligation to report their processes to the citizens and properly document law enforcement issues stating that no crimes against children occurred in all of 2025, either reflects bad investigation processes or bad documentation. Either is something that needs to be addressed by elected officials. Our closing thoughts. This is not about rushing to judgment on any individual. If the dogs wish to share their perspective, our door is open. Law enforcement must complete its work thoroughly and fairly. Our report on their particular case was only to provide relevant information regarding our inquiries and concerns regarding the responses we received. We strongly recommend our audience to be patient and understanding regarding the law enforcement process and allow justice to take its proper course. Any personal determination of innocence or guilt would be premature at this time. Instead, this is a story about transparency. Too often, government agencies default to stonewalling, lengthy delays, redactions, and no comment when issues could embarrass officials or expose gaps in oversight are brought forward by citizens. Citizens deserve better. Open processes, honest answers, and institutions that prioritize public safety and accountability. Overprotection and accountability over protection. We will keep following the story with persistence and fairness to all the agencies that we contacted. We are open to having interviews or engaging in open discussions. Bremerton Police Department with Renaissance High School, Bremerton School District, or the City of Bremerton, or the Bremerton Police Department regarding the withholding of information about their processes and procedures that can impact both public safety and provide needed information to law enforcement. As always, provide us with your comments and feedback. Relevant comments will be addressed in future episodes. Anybody with additional information that can assist us in getting the information out to the public, please contact us. KMJC is about accountability and government transparency. As other episodes have demonstrated, we do not allow our conservative biases to stop us from publishing stories regarding conservatives and Republicans. We see our role as part of the political remodel process of holding all elected officials and their staff accountable to the public. Contrast this with our local news outlets, and you can see why we need KMJC to be a reliable and trustworthy source of news. Stay informed, stay engaged, and be sure to contact your local officials with your questions and concerns. This is KMJC, your voice for local accountability.